Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Jessie, and welcome back to another episode of Rewired to Inspire. This show where we'll dive into self-love, learn tangible ways to rewire the brain, and discovering your soul's purpose. The goal of Rewired to Inspire is to encourage listeners to begin doing the hard work, to get curious and open to maximizing your life. Our mindset shapes how we live. Depending on life events, traumas, and personal experiences, our mindsets are all vastly different. However, one thing we all have in common is the ability to rewire our mind, to change the narrative, and to pivot our lives. I hope you leave each episode with the belief that you are so worthy to live a life true to you. I look forward to chatting with you every single Tuesday and Thursday and helping you grow exponentially in all areas of your life. Without further ado, here's today's episode. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to my podcast, Rewire to Inspire. I am your host, Jessie Brown, and I am so excited to be jumping on the microphone with you all for episode number 136. It is raining so hard right now at my house. It's not even funny. We have severe thunder and lightning warnings coming, which honestly, I'm freaking terrified of thunder and lightning. If you've seen the movie Ted when they sing the thunder song, that'd be me tonight trying to sleep. For some reason, like there's some times where it's kind of a vibe, but then there's other times where it actually terrifies me. And so if you're someone who's also terrified of thunder and lightning, I got you. I get it. I understand. If you missed Tuesday's episode, little side tangent. If you missed Tuesday's episode, number 135, oh my, we went into it. Powerful episode. Truth dial, 10 out of 10. I'm learning to show up on the microphone differently. I don't want to show up on here and bullshit you guys. I don't want to show up on here and not be myself. I got some good feedback last week. And someone new in my life basically shared, you're so easy to talk to, but for some reason your podcast doesn't really feel like you. And I kind of had to just share, who I am outside of my podcast and who I am as a coach and a podcaster is a little bit different, and it's different for a reason. But as I've been sitting with that, I'm like, I'm not okay with that. I want you guys to get me fully. I want you guys to see me transparently. I don't want there to be any bullshit. I don't want to lessen my truth. If you were to hang out with me in person, it should be the same energetic feeling that you get on this podcast. And I can't help but think that numbers have been a little bit more stagnant because I haven't been in my true energetic state. I've been lessening myself. I've been dimming my light. I've been sabotaging myself. Which is exactly what we're going to talk about today, is the concept of self-sabotage. When I even say that word self-sabotage, it sounds so icky. It's like, ew, self-sabotage. The things that we do to ourselves, we would ideally never do to other people. Yet I would bet that we self-sabotage ourselves. I know we do every day, but I would guarantee you that it's like several times a day. Little things such as making a promise to yourself and breaking it, that's self-sabotage. Telling yourself really crummy things about yourself, that is self-sabotage. Comparing yourself to other people in a negative way, that is self-sabotage. Telling yourself that you are going to eat really good tonight and then you don't, that's self-sabotage. Telling yourself anything that is contradicting how you actually are and show up is self-sabotage. Saying you're not going to talk to somebody anymore and then you do, that is self-sabotage. I want you to think right now, even just today, was there a moment that you self-sabotaged yourself? I was scheduled to record today. Fridays is my Friday afternoons, evenings. I guess it's evening. It's 7 o'clock at night right now. So Friday evenings are my recording time. Now. And there was a part of me that's like, I do not want to record today. It's been a long day. It's been a productive day, but it has been a long day. It's been a long week, and I didn't want to show up. But I knew that if I didn't, I was going to wake up tomorrow feeling really upset with myself. The thing is because I'm conscious of how my actions dictate my behavior and dictate my emotions, once you become aware of how self-sabotage energetically messes with you, it becomes harder and harder to do it. So much self-sabotage happens subconsciously that we don't realize the correlation. I was watching this video the other day, and basically the guy was sharing, I don't remember the context. If I can find it, I'll link it below. I don't like not giving credit, so this kind of bothers me. I was watching so many different YouTube videos, and this one kind of came on in the background, and he was talking about self-sabotage and how we build up all this momentum throughout the day, like just theoretically. Like, let's just use food as an example of self-sabotage, because it's something that I think we can pretty much all relate to, at least to a little degree, where we will eat good all day, right? Like 23 hours of the day we're good. Talking like midnight the night before up until maybe not 23 hours. You guys hear what I'm saying? We're really, really, really good with food, being healthy, being clean, whatever, all day. We're really intentional. And then 10 p.m. hits, we have a sugar craving, and we basically set ourselves 5 steps backwards in that 1 hour. We basically plateaued or even backwards, what a strong word to use. We basically took away the significance of the behavior we did all day in an hour of then eating junk food at night. And yes, it's okay to do this every now and again. We're human. We do it too often. We do it too often. We don't realize the correlation of feeling like crap and self-sabotage. I want you to bring awareness to what area of your life you find yourself doing this the most. Is it food? Is it fitness? Is it work? Is it finances? Is it relationships? Is it self-talk? What area of your life do you keep having like a duality of one side of the coin, but you end up doing the other side of the coin? Are you even aware that it's hurting you? Are you aware of the correlation between, I've talked about this countless times on my podcast, because once I got this realization to land in my head and in my heart, I completely shifted how I show up. If you tell yourself you are going to do something and you don't do it, and I get there's reasons sometimes why we can't do things, but I'm talking like repetitively, or you've excused yourself out of it, you're going to feel it. You might not know how, you might not know when, you might not know why, you're going to feel it. How many times have you promised yourself that you're going to go to the gym and you don't go? You're vibing not very high when we do that. We tell ourselves we're not going to eat any more junk food. And first of all, the thing is we say these big, bold statements and then we don't comply with them. Let's start small and keep promises to ourselves. I think so much, I shared on my last episode, not having a connection with ourselves is also because of self-sabotage. It's really hard to build sense of self if we can't even trust ourselves. This is like one layer deeper to Tuesday's episode. It's really, really, really hard to fully know yourself, know your values, know your goals, know your mission, know like whatever, all that crap, if you are constantly your own worst enemy. If you are constantly sabotaging yourself. Because this is what we do. It's almost like a cycle. And I kind of want to create a digital asset that reflects this. We say we're going to do something, we don't do it. Okay. We feel crummy about it. We then sit in that discomfort, or what most of us do, we stuff it down. We internalize it, so we feel like crap. Then energetically, we're not really showing up as best as possible. That's being projected onto other people. Other people are doing the same thing within themselves. And so now we just have this constant mirror for each other of self-sabotage, self-hurt, self-betrayal. And we wonder why none of us are fulfilled. we wonder why it's so easy to lash out at each other. What is this about? Why are we so good at self-sabotaging ourselves? My mind's telling me to say, and this is, the last couple of episodes have been unscripted. I've really just been going off of my impulse. So much of it comes down to your level of self-worth. I've talked before about how self-belief and self-worth are so differently, which is one of the main concepts that my coaches helped me land on. I never realized that I've always had very, very high self-belief. Meaning I've always set big goals. I've always known that I'm very capable of anything I put my mind to. I've always known that. The thing is, though, is my self-worth didn't believe it. I didn't think I was worthy of it. When we don't think we're worthy of something, we're not going to put in the work. If you don't think you're worthy of your goals, you're going to show up differently. If you don't think you're worthy of following through with your promises to yourself, you won't. So much of self-sabotage, I think, comes down to that worth piece. If internally, subconsciously, we don't feel like we're worthy enough, we're not going to show up as best as possible. It's actually on the contrary, where when our worth gets high and we hold these higher standards to self-sabotage actually becomes a kryptonite. It becomes very, very challenging. The question that I want you to pose to yourself is 0 to 10, how much are you self-sabotaging? How much are you breaking promises to yourself? Where in your life does the pain outweigh the pleasure? Are you someone who picks pleasure, short-term pleasure, over long-term fulfillment? This was something that shout out to my dentist again. I talked about her on Tuesday too. She was freaking phenomenal, honestly. Got my teeth cleaned today, shout out. And she was talking about, short-term pleasure. I was like, thank you. This is my favorite subject in the whole wide world. Like, thank you so much. We have to admit to ourselves that none of us want to take the harder road. However, sometimes the harder road is the more fulfilling one. Actually, in most cases, it is. Again, a tangible example is fitness. How many of us genuinely want to work out every day? Not many of us. Not many of us. But we want the outcome. But what we do is we sabotage ourselves and we decide to choose pleasure, aka not going and sitting on the couch and eating junk food, over future fulfillment, which would be get your ass in gear. Don't do it because you want to do it. Do it because you know you'll thank yourself for doing it. The reason I'm talking about this episode is because I think so many of us are just self-sabotaging ourselves all the time and then wondering why we feel so crummy. We see this with finances all the time. We get paid, we spend it all, and we're like, down in the dumps. We do so many things to ourselves and then we blame the world. We're not showing up as good as possible because energetically we can't. If you are low vibing, you cannot be a high vibing person. I've talked about frequencies countless times on this podcast. It's so true. Our actions dictate our vibration. And if you think that that's woo, read a science book. We are energetic beings. And when we are fulfilled and in flow and showing up as best as possible, you are going to be a higher vibing person than someone who is continuously self-sabotaging themselves. Begin to identify for yourself the biggest areas that you find you're breaking promises, that you are hurting yourself. For me, the biggest area that I am self-sabotaging myself is not speaking my truth, which is why I'm so passionate on the last 2 episodes, because I'm like, enough is enough. I'm hurting myself by protecting other people. And although I have no intentions of harming other people and everything will be anonymous and everything is from my experiences, these are things that I'm protecting that have happened 5-10 years ago. And I'm not sharing them out of fear. It's hurting only me. I guarantee you, I don't guarantee. Every time I listen to another podcast and it's someone fully speaking their truth, my ears open so much more. Because I'm like, thank you for being transparent and vulnerable and courageous and saying it like it is. We all tiptoe and bounce around and we protect each other and we tell ourselves it's okay. We tell everybody else it's okay. Oh no, you look great. Oh no, you're doing great. It's like, I get that we want to be kind to each other. But what if we're being so kind that we're actually hurting each other? What if instead we gave hard truths? Imagine someone giving me the permission like, hey, I think you actually need to turn it up. I think you're holding yourself back. Sometimes when we say things, it can hurt in the moment, but can actually make us a lot better. How can we start by doing that to self first and then do it to other people in a loving way, especially those that we care about? Obviously, we're not going to go up to a stranger and say, hey, by the way, I think you need to hit the gym. No. What is the truth that you are holding back from yourself? What are you not admitting to yourself? I know a couple areas of my life. I've been really frigging it up with my nutrition lately. I sometimes don't eat until 7 o'clock at night. It's 7 o'clock at night right now. Today I have eaten an apple and crackers and cheese. That is what I've eaten today. That is not okay. That is not okay with me. That is self-sabotaging myself because I have bigger health goals for myself. I have a brain that I need to nourish. I'm not looking after myself. I'm self-sabotaging. That seems so minuscule, but to me that is everything because nutrition has always been a bit of a barrier for me. I have struggled with it. I have an eating disorder in the past. I've shared this with you guys before. And so in a lot of ways, I'm very, very good at self-sabotaging myself. If I'm having a harder day, I won't eat. I'll punish myself. It's not doing anything. It's fulfilled me at one point in time in my life and it's gotten me through some hard chapters. But right now, to be the best me, I can't do that shit anymore. What is it that you're ready to hang up? What is it you're ready to leave in the past? What is it even smaller than that? What are you ready to just admit to yourself that you're doing? We all know the things that we just are not admitting to ourselves. What is it that you know that if you shifted, you got rid of, you stopped doing a habit that shifted, your life would change? We all have at least one thing. We all have at least one thing. And we would be kidding ourselves and we would be naive if we said that we didn't. Identify one thing. Admit it to self and start there. The thing about self-sabotage and the way it affects us within is it can hurt our self-esteem. It does hurt our self-esteem. It affects our goals because if we're self-sabotaging, we have a lower vibe, our belief and our worth is low, we're not going to chase after things. We're not going to put ourselves out there. We're not going to get outside of our comfort zone. We have to start small and build. I have to look back for myself 4 years ago and go there. I can speak from where I am now, but what you guys don't know is the work that has been happening behind the scenes for 4 years. The books I've read, the coaching reps, the therapy, the crying, the pain, the healing, the excruciating learning behind the scenes. You guys don't see a lot of that stuff. And so it's very easy to compare. Don't compare with anybody besides yourself. Be the best you. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. What I do to me does not affect you. What you do to you does not affect me. If we all collectively begin to hold ourselves more accountable and stop sabotaging ourselves, imagine how much quicker we find ourselves, show up differently, and all be more fulfilled. I am so optimistic about our future, it's not even funny. I want to be the one human being in your life, in your ears, in your orbit, that is telling you that the future is bright. In a world where everything seems daunting, everything seems overwhelming, everybody wants to quit, everybody wants to give up, once we say we're done and we throw in the towel, we kind of are. But I don't believe that. I don't believe this is it for us. I don't believe in a world where we are going backwards. I believe we are evolving. I believe we are, in fact, evolving quicker than we can keep up with, which is why a lot of this stuff happens. I believe in a brighter future. I believe in a brighter future for each and every one of you listening, but we have to get out of our own damn way. We have to do the hard work. We have to stop self-sabotaging ourselves. This comes down to our thoughts first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Turn within, you guys. There is a soul in there that is craving your Awareness is craving your energy, is craving your connection. It misses you. It wants to get to know you. It's a beautiful journey. It's a hard journey, but it's a rewarding and fulfilling journey. So if you're looking for support with this, as you guys know, I am a one-on-one trauma-informed life coach. My perspective and philosophy is to support clients from the past moving into the future. So basically, a lot of life coaches focus on just the future. Setting goals, gaining momentum, daily habits, all that stuff. 100% amazing. I'm all about that. However, we cannot focus on the future if our past is holding us back. I talk about an anchor all the time. We can focus on our future, but if we have an anchor holding us back all the time, it's going to feel like we're taking one step forward, two steps backwards. I want to help you guys be able to put that anchor down so you can at least feel what it's like to live without it. Knowing we can pick it right back up as a protector if we need to. So if that interests you whatsoever, I would love to book a free 30-minute call. I'll put my link in the description below. Let's hop on, let's chat, let's see how I can support you, and know that I'm sharing belief from myself to you until you find it for yourself. I'm in a place right now where I'm okay with that. I feel so energetically good right now. Yes, I have hard days. I had a hard day today. But holistically, I know and I believe in such a brighter future. And I think I'm at a place now where I can really, really help folks. And I want to be able to help you, and I want to be able to be that light for you. So thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode, every episode. And I look forward to chatting to you all next week. Bye, you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's episode of Rewire to Inspire. I absolutely love connecting with you all, so make sure you're following me on Instagram. I am at Jessie Brown 13. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to leave a review or share with someone you think would enjoy. I look forward to chatting with you all next episode. And remember, get out of your head and into your heart.